And today we're going to look at former Archegos founder Bill Hwang as he heads to trial next week. And joining us now is Bloomberg Sridhar Natarajan, who really wrote through a Business Week story that had published today about Bill Hwang's dreams here that he never had told people. That's how you started this story off here. What was the dream?
Well, it is interesting. When you walk into his charity office, there is this striking piece of artwork. It's effectively, there is red paint and manipulated layers of mesh, which is hanging over the New York City skyline. It's quite something, is the best way for me to describe it. His dream was, it was a vision of the blood of Christ redeeming the sins of the city. That's all very interesting because when we think about what is going to happen starting next week, Bill Hwang goes to trial in a criminal case where the DOJ has accused him of wire fraud, of market manipulation, of racketeering. Racketeering are charges that were originally put in place to take down mob bosses. So this is going to be a real test for him. Here's someone who built such a massive fortune so secretively, lost it all very publicly, and now has gotten us to this stage where we have a trial that could be one of the biggest market manipulation cases of its kind.
The big question now, according to a former federal prosecutor quoted in your story, is will this guy go to jail for it? How do you answer how they think through what happens next for Bill Hwang?
When you think about all the charges that they've put against him, each count, it's wire fraud, market manipulation, racketeering, all 20 years in jail. So there is a very serious possibility of that happening. It is novel in some ways because you don't often see cases of this kind. You normally don't even see some individual, in this case a family office. Bill Hwang's Archegos was just a family office that had net capital of $36 billion, gross exposure of $160 billion, all going down to zero in the span of a week. That makes it unusual in itself.
What's interesting, too, and you've followed this through and through from the very beginning, it put Wall Street at odds. Banks have lost billions of dollars. Sometimes a single bank lost billions of dollars of what happened here. Has anything really changed about Wall Street since this initially happened?
Well, undoubtedly, the splash on Wall Street was ugly. There was more than $10 billion of losses that his counterparties tallied up. One bank alone, Credit Suisse, had more than $5.5 billion in hits. Where is Credit Suisse now? RIP. It doesn't exist anymore. That's the kind of impact you can argue that Archegos had on the market. So obviously regulators stepped in. They made a lot of noise about wanting to change disclosure rules.
Did they, though? Did they change the disclosure rules? Did they significantly change the swaps rules?
So far, they've made noises. We've not seen enough tangible action that can give you and me reassurance that another Archegos will not happen. But these things also take time. And I do expect that you will see some changes down the road, whether it's the swaps disclosure rules or whether it's rules specifically targeted at family offices, because those were the two key reasons why Archegos was pretty much under the radar.